Hey, what's up, everyone? Ultra back with another episode of The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD for the Nintendo Switch. In the last episode, we took on the beginning of Faron Woods, and we rescued 4 Kikwis and talked to the Elder to obtain the slingshot here. And then we continued on to the Deep Woods. Let me see if I've showed here. Deep Woods, and to the opening or beginning of the first dungeon within the game. Yeah, now I already know how to solve it, but for those who don't, for those who don't know how to solve it, if you read this. He who descended from above, look to the star that the bird rising heavenward gazes upon, and aim your shot there. As you can see, you guys probably seen that gem earlier when we're running up here. But yeah, here's the bird it's talking about. And you look up and you shoot this right here. Master, I have bad news. The auras of many creatures reverberate throughout this temple. As a result, I can't isolate Zelda's aura. You will not be able to track her here. Given the situation, I suggest you look around to see where we should move next. Anyway, here we are in the Skyview temple, the first temple within the game. Let me save here real quick. And yeah. And now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, take those out real quick. I believe around here should be. Maybe that shows up later. Maybe it is over here. Oh yeah, you need the heart for this. I guess, like I said, in previous episodes, I do end up mistaking at what point different areas open up due to forgetting that certain items are needed to progress on. So, anyway. Dang. There we go. Anyway, now we are in this room. Real quick, if I'm not mistaken, you can just roll into the wall. Yep. You can get that amber relic. Let's see. He who descended from the sky, lend your ear to the wise voice of the servant who brought you to the firm soil. Descended from the sky, lend your ear to the wise voice of the servant who brought you to the firm soil. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe it is referring to using your sword to do that. But I knew how to do that beforehand. But what you were supposed to do is confuse the eye by moving your sword around like this, and it ends up falling off. I guess I really never read it because I never really did on my first time, but anyway, here we are though. Be careful for those things because they will hit you. We can go and hit these real quick. And then if you come up here, you can create yourself a little shortcut back to the first one here. Anyway, let it go. I need to save because I just did that. Now there's one above here. I believe there is a... If I'm not mistaken, I believe there is a thing to read here. A little stone board. Anyway, but what it is it says on the board. It might show up here later, but there's one above and one below. In the room where the water rises. So you have to hit both of them to open up those open up the doors on the different sides. But we'll just start off with this side since this is what you see first. Let me come in here. Let me get one of these. Here we go. And now if we read, here it is. 2 doors lead to rooms left and right, but they will only open when the gemstones are struck. One is above and one is below. And as I mentioned back in that other room, we struck the one that was above, but then there's one below that I had showed. And so to get to the other side, that's what we need to do. Before that, though, I believe there is... Yep, right here. There's a little way to crawl to. You can hit this to raise the water level. We can crawl back up through here. And this is something for later. When we do come back into the temple, and this is an item that you can use later to dig that out. So anyway, yeah. So we have to enter through the main room back into the other half of this room here. And to do so, we have to run back into here. And due to me not hitting this prior, I need to take and just hit it open like that. And then you can run back and enter that other room. And if we enter in here, there's this guy to fight. Oh yeah, I believe we have to jump down. The game will cooperate. Jump down. I believe, yep. Oh, maybe I didn't have to jump down. Maybe jumping down was unnecessary. But you did need to hit those. to create a path to go across. Let's try this again. Wait, now we can come back through here. This guy. Take these spider webs. And send in this guy. Anyway, we can come here, and now that we've created a place to stand on, or found the blade to stand on, we can hit that and raise the water level. And as you can see in that, in the top right corner, you can see there was a chest there. So let me quick read this. In a room with 2 glittering gemstones, you will find a temple map. Gaze upon that map until your eye finds the X, for it is there that you must strike another gemstone to reveal a path. Now, that treasure map they were referring to is in this room right here. And go over here and to the left. It is right here. And now in this game versus some other games, chests items and I guess Zelda or the boss room is revealed via just the the dungeon map. In other games, there has been a map and a compass. So, in this game, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, it's kind of nice to only have to find one, but it is a unique concept that they've added to this game versus some of the prior games. Anyway, the position of the doors and their locks, as well as the position of the status of treasure chests, can be confirmed by the map, which marks such as X. However, be aware that you will be unable to use beacons here due to the indoor nature of this environment. Anyway, and it's telling me just to open the map, you can look at it. Anyway, we jump back down here and we come across. Make sure we take this out. Then we could just come up here. Come through this door. And this should reveal the path to which... Oh. Alright. Now, we should be able to... I believe there is... Oh yeah, in this room, you do need to find the spot where they both... And then do this. And confuse them both. I was mistaking rooms where in the future room there's a similar concept. And that you will see later in this video. Yep, there's a small key to get through that main room. And yeah, there's nothing else needed here. As we can see, everything is searched. There was a gemstone there and a gemstone there that raised the water level. So now we just move on into the central area of this dungeon. The dungeon is rather short, as in some other dungeons. I know if any of you have played Twilight Princess, it'd be kind of interesting to know, but I might do that in a future playthrough. But yeah, in that game, the first temple, which is the forest temple, is a lot longer. It takes a lot more time than this temple. At this point, we're halfway through, but in that temple, we'd probably be, only having one of the monkeys versus, you get a whole bunch of monkeys and use them to cross a gap. Anyway, we go and take out the enemies in this area. Anyway, if we come through here, you can see that we can get into this door via this gemstone. And we can head through here. And here we are into our first mid-boss of the game. And let's see if I can do this. And hitting parries is really beneficial here. Oh, this might be bad. Here we go. Where's the mid-boss? Oh, I was hoping we were maybe going to glitch the game and be inside the chest. Anyway, we got the beetle, which is the first item within the game. You've acquired a new item. The analysis of this object's in-flight profile and wings indicates it can fly. After launching it, you can remotely pilot the device. The sharp structure on the front of this device can sever threads and deliver a blow to smaller objects. Press ZR to ready the device for takeoff, and press right to learn more about its operation. Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. You just kind of choose it, and then you just aim it wherever you want to go, and you can control it. Anyway, for the way we get out of this room, you can see there is... In a moment, I'll take care of that heart, so it's not in the recording for a while. Anyway, you come back and hit this to open up the door again. I guess I'm already here, so we can... Here we go. Use the ferry. I just quit my shield again. We're good to go. Anyway, so now what the beetle can be used for taking down Skulltulas from hanging. If I can control it correctly, it can be. It can be used to take him down from above. There we go. Now you can do a fatal blow, and it's good. The beetle can also be used. I believe these contain rupees. So if that's something that you see, you guys can break them down and get yourself a couple rupees. I'm all about that money, so that's why you do it. Don't know where I'm shooting that to. There we go. I believe we can come up here. Be careful for these Deku Babas. Just hit that, and you can come and hit this, and it should open up access to this room. So if we enter in through here, yep, there's a chest here, and then we have to gain access to walk through here. Anyway, if we enter through here, you see there's a place to crawl out. Anyway, you jump down here. And then I believe this is the room oh no, it was not. Anyway, so since we can't roll this out, we can use the beetle to obtain this. Here we go. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is the room. Yep, this is the room that I mentioned earlier with the eyes with a similar concept. And as you can see here... Oh. Alright, there we go. Now he's taking it. You can only see... Oh. You can only get in contact with 2 eyes. You can't reach the 3rd eye on top. So, the way we solve this puzzle is we go up here. And then we knock this down with the beetle. And then push it to the right spot. I believe it's right there. Should work. There we go. We can reach it. You do that, and you confuse them all. And we can now go open this chest. Anyway, now we can traverse back through this room. And now, you can see this room becomes... I believe it becomes flooded, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, this is what we have to do. So we have to go and... It becomes flooded because that's the way you need to go to get out. And you do that by hitting this gem. Come through here. And I won't waste time with him because I believe that was going to be a struggle to figure out how to actually get him to come down. So I'll just move on ahead. Come through here, and you're back to the entrance. And back to the main room. As you can see, there's a piece of heart here. So, we have a similar process as before. We aim this... Oh, I remember now. Okay, I'm back. Quick edit. I had to figure out what to do. So, if you shoot your beetle up to the top of this, you can make your way to this opening right before your beetle runs out, and you can hit this gem. And now you reveal the heart piece. I believe that is our 2nd heart container. Our 3rd. I believe it's actually our 3rd. Anyway, now we can continue on. Now, for these, I just recommend taking your beetle, get close enough to where they come down, and just cut them off real quick. Anyway, now we can come through here. Be careful not to fall because those Deku Babas down there you have to fight them off too. Anyway, if we come through here with the small key we previously obtained, we come through this door and get to that back part where it was closed off and create ourselves a shortcut. But we go through here, and you got to not do that. You got to be very precise about your movements here, otherwise they will regrow. And I guess that works. You can also be super fast about it and take them all out before they respawn. That's also another very efficient way. And I believe that is it for this room. If I check my map, you see we've gained or obtained everything in this room prior to this room, and we can obtain the last 2 chests in the next room. You just make a jump. Does seem a little far, but you can make it. And then you can take and create yourself a shortcut. And now to obtain that, you go across here. There we go. It took me a moment to try and get them to actually fall off. Anyway, come through here, get yourself a small chest. I believe it's just rupees, yep. And you can go back through to the other direction. And come up through here. And make your way this way. So we can't balance on that, so we do have to run across and actually grab it, like what I did. There we go. Just need to make sure we're going the right direction. You can come up through here, and that's how we make our way across. And it is faster if you guys just want to use your slingshot rather than your beetle. Yeah. Sometimes things like that don't work. Unfortunate. Let's try this again. There we go. And I recommend maybe trying to get still before you start swinging a whole bunch. Try this again. You should be able to make the jump quite easily. Nope, you cannot. How many hearts did that take? Nope, we do not lose hearts, thankfully. Slides down a little bit. Let's try this again. And then we can drop down a little bit further so we don't have the same problem happen. Make sure we can get farther. And we can get access to this. And another interesting concept is the way that the boss keys work. I will show this in momentarily when I go to actually open the door. But the boss keys are quite interesting in this game. They're not like your traditional just big key or boss key where you just take them to the door and they open up, but rather they make a puzzle out of it. And I'll show this momentarily on how to solve it. And go through here. And here you are. And I assume many of you can already see how it works. If I retry this again, you can turn it and kind of lift it up. And if we get it just right, here we are. You just press to insert. And it's quite simple. But yeah, I will say the boss keys or the way to solve the keys are very interesting in this game. So It's quite a unique concept. Look who it is. I thought that tornado I stirred up would have tossed and torn you apart. Yet here you are, not in pieces. Not that your life or death has any consequence. It's just that girl, the girl that matters now, and I can just sense her here, just beyond this door. Yes, we plucked her majesty from her perch in the clouds, and now she's ours. Oh, but listen to me. I'm being positively uncivil. Allow me to introduce myself. I am the Demon Lord, who presides over this land, who look down upon this world you call the surface. You may call me Girahim. In truth, I must prefer to be indulged with my full title, Lord Girahim, but I'm not fussy. Did you really just draw your sword? Foolish boy. By all rights, the girl should have fallen into our hands already. She was nearly ours when that loathsome servant of the goddess snatched her away. Do you have any idea how that made me feel inside? Furious, outraged, sick with anger. This turn of events has left me with a strong appetite for bloodshed. Still, it hardly seems fair, being of my position to take all my anger out on you, which is why I promise up front not to murder you. No, I'll just beat you within an inch of your life. So here we are fighting off Girahim in the first dungeon. And so I gotta be kind of careful here where we are in hero mode and there's no hard spawns. I will show you real quickly. You see there's no hard spawns. So we do have to be quite careful here. But play your swords just right here. You can just kind of trick him with your sword, maybe point it one way. Oh, you gotta be careful when he does that. He does stand up behind you. So you kind of fake him one way, and then you get him by going to the other direction. And then another thing is stamina is really bad. I'm very bad at stamina usage, where I will overuse in many scenarios. And then here you go and parry him, and he opens them up so you can get some hits. Here, I personally just dodge because sometimes it is rather hard to hit. Before I had mistimed it here, I got it though. You can also shield parry those, but I personally just feel like it's not worth it. And I parry it again. How many hits does this guy take? There we go. I was gonna say, I was taking quite a few more hits than I had figured. Will, you put up more of a fight than I would have thought possible out of such a soft boy. But don't clap for yourself quite yet. That sword of yours is the only reason you're still alive. I fear I spent far too long teasing and toying with you. The girl's presence has all but faded from this place, which means there is no reason to linger here. Goodbye, Sky Child. Run and play this time. Get in my way again, though, you're dead. I won't lie, Girahim has almost the attitude. We got our first full heart container, but Girahim almost has the attitude of someone's mother, where they just don't want you. They're not messing around, and they mean business. So, leave a comment down below if you guys have a mother that sometimes she just doesn't play around. I know mine doesn't. Anyway. And here we are in this spring. As we can see, there is no one else here. It's just us. But it does reveal an area to Skyward Strike. There is rupees and other items to gather from above, but due to me having max rupees, I will not be doing that. But if you come around here before you gain access to the spring, you can take and get this goddess cube. There is a time later in the game where you do have to backtrack through the dungeon to obtain something within this area. I will not spoil that, but so you have an opportunity to get it later, but I'd choose just to get it now. Anyway, if we go in here and charge up a Skyward Strike, slash, we open up. Master, I have a message written in the language of the gods of old. Allow me to translate for you. From the edge of time, I will guide you, the one chosen to carry out the goddess's mission. The spirit maiden who descended from the clouds must travel to 2 sacred places to purify her body. You stand in one of these places, Skyview Spring. The other is known as the Earth Spring. This second spring is hidden away deep within the scorched earth of Eldin. The Spirit Maiden, ever mindful of the heavy task entrusted to her, has set out for the second sacred place. Now we got the second stone notebook. Master, as I just translated, it would appear that Zelda purified herself in the waters of this spring. I calculated a 90% chance that she has already set out for Eldin, where another great spring exists. However, it's not clear what method of travel Zelda used to move from here to her next destination. My analysis suggests that you should take the tablet to the altar in Skyloft. Doing so will likely open a new column of light on the surface, allowing you to descend to another area and continue to search for Zelda. The bird statue that transports you back to the sky should be in the forest you previously passed through. And now we just leave. We just get kicked out. Hey, it's me, Kui. Did you find the girl? Nope. Well, that's too bad. But it sounds like you at least know where you need to search next to find her. Kui, that's something, right? I'm so glad I've finally been reunited with all my Kikwi friends. It's all thanks to you, Kook Weep. With any luck, hopefully you'll find that girl you've been searching for real soon. Koroku. Take care, okay? Chat, I am gonna be honest. Those extra little sayings these little nut people have, bruh. Low key is cringe as hell. I won't lie. Anyway, I guess that will end. That's where I'll end off this video. We accomplished the temple and obtained the Earth tablet. Anyway, thank you all for watching. See you in the next one. Peace, Republic of Ultra. Take care.